You have waited 11 years for this. Not for a final, not for a trophy in general, for this specific thing, Portugal in a major tournament going all the way. You have been the best player in the world for the better part of a decade, and the one conversation that follows you everywhere, the one argument your critics return to whenever everything else runs out, is the tournament record. The club trophies, the Ballon d'Ors, the goals, the records, none of it closes the case. Because Portugal has never won a major international tournament with you in the squad, and the question sits there like something unfinished, like a door that has been left open in a room you cannot stop thinking about. You are 19 years old, and Portugal hosts the European Championship, and the whole country believes this is the year, and you are part of a squad with Figo and Rui Costa and players who have been waiting even longer than you have. You reach the final, you lose to Greece, you sit on the pitch afterward and cry in front of millions of people, and the photograph goes around the world, and for years afterward it is the image people reach for when they want to talk about the gap between individual greatness and international success. World Cup. Portugal reached the semifinals for the first time in 40 years. You lose to France. Zidane, the penalty, the silence on the bus home. Round of 16. You score 1 goal. Spain eliminate you. The squad is good but not right, and you feel it from the inside in a way that is difficult to explain to anyone watching from outside. Euros, semifinal. You score in the quarterfinal against Czech Republic. Against Spain in the semis it goes to penalties, and you are the 5th penalty taker, and it never gets to you because Portugal lose before your name is called. You stand at the halfway line watching your teammates walk off, and you have still not taken that penalty. World Cup. Group stage. Germany beat you 4-0, and the tournament is effectively over before it properly begins. You are 29 years old, and the window is not closing yet, but you can feel it in the peripheral vision of your career, the awareness that these tournaments come every 2 years, and each one that passes without the trophy is another one gone. The thing about those 11 years is that they were not spent in silence. Every tournament exit was documented in real time, dissected in studios, filed away as evidence. Pundits who had spent years building arguments about your greatness spent equal time building the counter-argument from the same material. The goals were yours. The exits were also yours. That is how it works at the international level. The captain carries the result in both directions, and there is no system to hide behind, and no transfer window to solve the problem, and no manager you can ask to be played in a different position. You go out there with what Portugal has, and you do what you can do. And when it is not enough, the question follows you home and waits for you at the next tournament. You have lived with that question 11 years. And now it is July 10th, 2016, Saint-Denis, Paris, the Stade de France, Portugal versus France in the final of the European Championship. And you have been here before in the sense that you have played in a major tournament final, but you have not been here in the sense that matters. You have never been 25 minutes away from winning one. The build-up to the tournament was not smooth. Portugal draw their first 3 group games. 3 draws against Iceland, against Austria, against Hungary. The press write that you are not yourself, that the team is not a team, that Portugal will be eliminated in the group stage, and the narrative will be that you peaked at club level and could never translate it internationally. You score 3 goals in those 3 drawn games. You set up others. You play every minute. The criticism does not find anything to grip on because you are doing everything right and the results are not following, and there is nothing to do about that except keep going. Portugal scrape through as one of the best third-place teams. Then something changes. Not dramatically, not with a speech or a moment that announces itself as significant, just quietly, over a series of matches, the team starts to function as a team. Pepe defending like he would run through a wall. Quaresma coming off the bench and producing moments of individual brilliance that nobody in Europe can explain. Renato Sanchez, 19 years old, covering ground in midfield with a physicality that makes opposition players take a step backward. You beat Croatia in extra time. You beat Poland on penalties. You beat Wales, Gareth Bale and all, with 2 goals from Nani and 1 from Ronaldo. And the semi-final is done, and France are waiting in the final on home soil, with Griezmann and Payet and a country of 66 million people convinced that the trophy is already theirs. The final begins, and you are on the pitch, and 25 minutes in, something happens that the tournament had not prepared anyone for. Dimitri Payet challenges you, a knee into your left knee, Not malicious, just football, the way football happens at speed when bodies collide without warning. You go down, you get up, you try to run, you go down again. The physios come on, and you sit on the grass in the middle of the Stade de France, and you try to stand, and your left knee will not do what you are asking it to do. You try twice, 3 times. The knee buckles each time, and you know before the doctor says anything what this means. Not the medical specifics, the meaning. You have waited 11 years for this specific night, and your body has chosen this specific night to fail you. And there is nothing, no amount of training, no sleep protocol, no nutritional plan, no obsessive maintenance of a body you have treated like a Formula One car for 20 years that prepared you for the possibility that you would be a spectator in your own final. That the night you have been building towards since 2004 would ask you to watch it from the sideline with your knee wrapped and your kit still on.
The stretcher comes. You do not want the stretcher. You try to walk off, you cannot walk off. They bring the stretcher and you lie on it and they carry you past your teammates and past the France players and past 60,000 people, and the camera finds your face and you are crying, and it is different from the crying in 2004. That was a 19-year-old grieving a defeat. This is a 31-year-old lying on a stretcher in the middle of the most important match of his career, watching it continue without him, unable to do the one thing he has done every day for 20 years. They take you to the dressing room. Ligament damage. You are done for the night. You sit there for a moment. Then you get up and walk back to the tunnel. You cannot play, but you can be there, and you intend to be there, and you position yourself at the edge of the technical area in your kit with your knee wrapped, and you watch the match with the specific attention of someone who cannot participate but refuses to detach. And then you start to do something that nobody on the bench was expecting. You start coaching. You call players over during stoppages. You point at spaces they are not finding. You identify the threat before it becomes a threat, and you communicate it to whoever is nearest. Eder, the striker who barely played in the group stage, the one the French defense is not watching closely enough, you have noticed something about the space behind their defensive line, and you point, and you gesture, and you make sure he understands. 90 minutes. No score. Extra time. 109 minutes. Eder receives the ball 25 yards from goal. He takes one touch to set himself. He shoots. It is not the cleanest strike you have ever seen. It does not need to be. It skids low off the Saint-Denis turf and finds the bottom corner before the goalkeeper finishes processing the decision to move, and the Portugal players nearest to the goal freeze for exactly 1 second because the brain needs 1 second to confirm that what just happened actually happened. Portugal lead. You are off the pitch and you lose your mind completely. You sprint along the touchline with your knee wrapped, and you are not supposed to be running, and your body does not care because there are 11 minutes left and Portugal are winning a European Championship Final and no protocol exists for this moment. You pump both fists. You scream something that nobody can hear over the noise. You grab the nearest person, and then you are moving again because you cannot stop moving, because stopping would mean slowing down, and slowing down would mean the 11 minutes might catch up to you. 11 minutes. You spend them on your feet, pacing, watching, calling out. Every time France have the ball, you tense in a way that is visible from 50 rows back. Every time Portugal clear it, you breathe for half a second and then tense again. The clock moves the way clocks move when you are watching them, slowly, deliberately, as if it knows what's at stake and has decided to take its time about getting there. Full time. The whistle goes, and for a moment, you just stand there. 11 years, 4 tournaments, Greece in 2004, France in 2006, Spain in 2012, Germany in 2014. Every press conference question about the gap between club and country, every careful article about the one thing missing from the resume, every morning on a training pitch somewhere in the world where you worked on the thing you were supposed to be the best at and wondered privately whether the tournament would ever come. Your teammates are running towards each other. Some of them are on the ground. Some of them are already crying. You walk onto the pitch and your knee is still wrong and you walk onto it anyway. And someone finds you and grabs you, and then you are in the middle of it, in the pile, in the noise, in the thing you have been moving towards since you were a child in Madeira watching football on a television your family could barely afford to run. Nani finds you. Pepe finds you. Players who have been with you through the qualifying campaigns and the group stage draws and the penalty shootouts and the years when it seemed like it might never come together find you, and they are grabbing you and you are grabbing them back. And nobody is saying anything that makes sense, and it doesn't matter because sense is not what this moment requires. They put a Portugal flag around your shoulders. You stand in the middle of the Stade de France with a Portugal flag around your shoulders and your knee wrapped and your face doing things you cannot control, and 60,000 people making a noise that has no name. And for one moment, one specific moment, before the ceremony and the trophy and the photographs and the interviews and the years of replaying this night begin, it is just you and the feeling. The feeling that the door that has been open for 11 years has finally, quietly closed. They bring the trophy out. You are the captain. You lift it. And somewhere in the stands, your mother is watching, and the flag is on your shoulders, and the confetti is falling, and you are 31 years old, and you have just done the one thing that everyone said defined what you had not done. You look up. You don't say anything. You just hold it. That is enough. That is everything. One word in the comments. The word for what it feels like to win the thing you have been chasing for 11 years from the sideline in your kit. Just one. Subscribe. There are more nights like this one.